Shalom, Kahla Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. This is the brother War, come back at you with another video. I want to say shalom to the Akyam and the Akwathim that are going to be watching this video. Shalom. So, I don't have a title that I want to explain out in this video, or I can't really say the topic. I just was reading 2nd Esdras, 4th chapter the other day. And I'm like, I want to talk about the scripture, right? So let me just read it. Let's get straight into it. It's 2nd Esdras chapter 4, verse 11. How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest, and the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight? So Ezra was asking the Most High, like he was curious, and he didn't understand why the children of Israel, who are the Most High God's chosen people, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, so-called today, why is it that us being the Most High God's chosen people, all this hell's breaking loose on the earth, and we're in captivity constantly to these other nations and catching hell, right? So that's what he's trying to understand. Verse 12, then said I unto him, it were better that we were not at all, than that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer and not to know wherefore. All right, and people in the earth today, they aren't thinking like smart like Esdras. They ain't thinking like him. They ain't thinking like the 1/3 and the elect are going to be thinking. These guys are just living and not trying to understand the world around them. They're just living to die. Right, the same way these animals live. Right, they just living their life, and they don't know. Well, see, it's even to a certain extent, the animals they know when the storm's coming in. The birds will fly out, they clear out. You know, these people trying to figure out why is so much evil in the earth. Right, some people just don't care and they just keep on living. But Ezra is trying to figure out why is all this happening in the earth, and mainly to his people. Right, verse 13, he answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel, and said, come, let us go and make war against the sea, that it may depart away before us, and that we may make us more woods. The floods of the sea also in like manner took counsel, and said, come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make us another country. Salak. It's windy out here. Right. Salak. Verse 16, verse 15, the floods of the sea also in like manner took counsel, and said, come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make us another country. Verse 16, the thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came and consumed it. The thought of the floods of the sea came likewise to naught, for the sand stood up and stopped them. If thou wert judged now betwixt these two, whom wouldest thou begin to justify, or whom wouldest thou condemn? When I was reading it, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I was about to pick a side out, you know. I didn't know who to pick. Yeah, but I kept on reading. Verse 17, verse 19. I answered and said, verily it is a foolish thought that they both have devised, for the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also hath his place to bear his floods. That's how you know Ezra was a wise man, because that didn't come into my mind quick. I imagine if the Most High put me on the spot, he's just like, you know, who you pick? I was like, I've been there stuttering, thinking real hard. I don't know, you know, but that's how it is. But it is a foolish thought. Why? You know, the sea, the trees already got the land, and the sea already has the sea. Well, you guys trying to leave your elements for it to cause trouble and make war for when you have your place that's given to you already, right? Verse 20, then answered he me and said, thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest thou not thyself also? And I'm like, oh, Damn. For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. Right, and that was the main point I was thinking about, which is verse 21. That the people on the earth, we don't know the heavens is above us, man. The firmament's above us, and we don't know what's going on. The council that's happening on a day-to-day basis up in the heavens where the Most High and the angels and the demons are dwelling. We don't know if they got like a news, if they be having like a news channel or something up there. Not to say it. I'm pretty sure I can't even say it. They may or may not have certain things, you know. But what I'm saying is we know what's happening. We got our news down here. We got this Fox News. We got CNN. We got YouTube. We got things like that to keep up on the news. We see cars driving by. We see the trees that we got. We're able to learn about these things, right? The shoes, our clothes, the food we eat down here, things of that. All this stuff is just on the earth, which is just earthy stuff, nothing but materials and flesh, right? But what's happening in the heavens, we have no clue. We have no clue what's happening up in the heavens above us. Or these people, if I didn't read the scriptures, I wouldn't know that the Most High is the one putting us to death, right? According to, what is it, 1 Samuel 2:6 and Deuteronomy 32 and 39. The Most High is the one who puts people to death. He gives the counsel of putting the people to death, right? Even it talks about in 1 Kings 22, right? Either 1st or 2nd Kings, the 22nd chapter, how the Most High had a council amongst the angels, right? And the demons, the hosts of heavens, talking about how they were going to deceive the, who was it again? I gotta go back into the chapter and read it, but I just remember the account. But the ultimate counsel was that the angel was going to be a lying spirit and deceive one of the men, that they can be put to death. So we don't know that all this stuff is going on. There's angels around us and the host of heavens around us right now, but we don't see it. We can't see that stuff, right? So the men on earth, the Most High has like this, so men don't understand the things that are heavenly. Man is flesh. This is a material. The Most High is a spirit, and everything up there is energy, right? Everything up there is energy and spiritual, right? The same way that and one thing I was thinking about is the same way that a fish is swimming in the sea, right? And men made what fish don't know about that men made fishing rods, right? The men are above the fish. That's the order. The men are supposed to rule over. Men are supposed to rule over the wildlife on earth. So for the fish living in the sea, what men have created, which would be above their understanding, is that men have a device called a fishing rod, which a fishing rod they use to lure fish in with bait. The fish don't know that. So what happens to the fish? They just get taken up, and the fish is used to be eaten for us. Fish is food for us, right? So that's kind of the analogy. The fish don't know the things, the above devices that's happening on the land, right? The same way that man doesn't know the above devices that's happening in the heavens. But us, the children of Israel, the Most High has blessed us in making certain things known to us. Let me see if I can get that scripture in Deuteronomy. Come on, this is Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong unto Yahweh, our power, right? Secret things belong unto the Most High, our power. But those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So the things that were revealed unto us were the law, statutes, and commandments, and other things that was written in this book, right? Other things that the Most High put in here in general, right? We know how America's going to be destroyed. We know why not to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, because that stuff isn't good for you. It isn't good for you anyways, but we don't know why the Most High in his head said, we just know that he said, you children of Israel are holy unto me, so don't eat it. Right? Which a man can assume that also because it's unclean. It's unclean, and then that it's actually bad for you. Which researchers, you go into Esau's researchers, they say shrimp and pork and swine is actually bad for your health, especially compared to other meats. So why would you eat it? Right? But the Most High didn't say, oh, it's bad for you. He just said it's unclean unto you, right? So we don't know what he was thinking when he said not to eat. He just said, no, don't eat it. So we know certain things that comes to the law, but because the Most High revealed unto us. The heathen don't know. The heathen didn't know that. Right? The heathens don't even care. They still eating that, especially Moab and Esau. They love the swine. A lot of Jake's been loving swine too nowadays. Right? But what we were mainly given is the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, that's what has been revealed unto us. That's the things that have been that were given to us. Right, and it says in the book, also in second Esdras, that when the Most High was delivering the commandments unto Moses when he was up in the mountain, that he gave him a bunch of things. He gave him the knowledge of the beginning and to the end. And he only gave Moses charge to write what he wanted, what the Most High wanted Israel to know, right? And then even when Ezra had to write these books, and he got the scribes to write it, when the Most High told him to get the scribes to write it, he said hide some of the things and only give 70 of the books to certain wise men. So everything is even on the spiritual level, everything isn't supposed to be known unto everyone, even in this truth. Right? All we know for salvation, the main thing for salvation is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and have faith in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Have faith in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right? So now coming up into this truth, let me get 1 Corinthians 4:9. And it says, for I think that the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. Because now you coming up into, you wake up to who you are in this truth, and you start preaching the word and doing what we were doing back in the past, right? And everyone's trying to persecute you now. You see you try and talk against homosexuality, people are coming up against you, right? You try and teach your people who they are, they want to kill you, right? It's like the Most High put the spirit of truth into us for us to be put to death. Right? For we are made a spectacle unto the world. Now, that's what we're made, a spectacle unto the world. Everyone's watching us on YouTube. Everyone's watching us when we're out there on the street corners screaming. Right? Some small percentage of the people say these guys got wisdom, and the majority of the earth is saying these guys are crazy. There's a bunch of crazy niggas and Latinos and Native Indians on the street corners. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not the Most High God's chosen people. God doesn't exist. They're saying all kinds of things against us, right? For we are made a spectacle unto the world and to angels, right? Angels that encampeth around us on a day-to-day basis, on the daily, and to men, right? People mocking us, laughing at us. Some of them disbelieve, they try and disprove us wrong through their blinded heart that the Most High put on them, right? What else are we? And this is what we receive from the Most High. The Most High put the Spirit on us to know these things. He put the Spirit on us to wake up in these last days. But people don't understand the counsel of the Most High. So how are they supposed to know? Because this Most High didn't give. The Most High said, He just said in 2 Esdras that the things that are in the heavens is for the highest to understand. Right? But we've been blessed with these. Us being the children of Israel have been blessed with the knowledge and the certain things that the Most High wanted us to know, right? So this is what we look like to the world, because we come with the doctrine from heaven, we come with the heavenly things. And people don't understand. The people of the earth don't understand that because they're earthy, right? Verse 10: we are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. You are honorable, but we are despised. Right? So, yeah, I'm going to keep reading it. Even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. And labor, working with our own hands, being reviled. We bless, being persecuted, we suffer it. And that's what you have to go through in this truth. All for the sake of salvation and waking up the 1/3 as Yahweh Shai HaMashiach did done for the elect. Ultimately for the whole nation. Right? Being defamed, we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world. It's funny how Esau, the so-called white man, came up in saying, "In God we trust." And now all of a sudden, when you preach the word of God that says a man can't lie with a man, you shouldn't be aborting babies. You can't be aborting babies, putting babies to death. Or you gotta keep the Sabbath day, which we're only teaching that to the children of Israel to do anyways, because that's what the law was given to. But that's what people hate. It's the law of the Most High, right? And that's the filth. That's the filth. That's filthy to this world. Righteousness is filthy to this world, and are the offscoring of all things unto this day. All right, and let me get another precept before I get on to another point that I kind of forgot. Oh no, I remember now. But yeah, let me get this precept real quick. All right, we coming with the doctrine of heaven, man. And the world doesn't understand. This is the thing. This is the earth. The earth has been given to man. Man can only understand the things that man can understand. But us being the children of Israel, we know better. Right? And this is John 3:19. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world. What was that light at the time? Was the Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And men loved darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Right? For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. And these people, most of these people who come up against us are doing evil. Right? And for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, and they hate the good things, which this commandment is a light. Proverbs 6:23. Neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Right? Because being that the commandment is a light, if you being evil come to the light, then you could change your ways and be converted. Proverbs 9, Psalm 19:7. For he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. Right? And the Most High put the Spirit on us to change our ways. He reproved us because we were being evil, which ultimately that means it deepen your spirit that you love the light, but you just didn't know the truth. All right, let me get another precept before I get to the main last scripture I kind of want to get. All right. I kind of like recording with my phone, getting the precepts out, because I know some of the Akim and elders I watch don't always jump to the precepts on screen. They just kind of have a picture set up, and you either got to get it yourself. You can't read along with them, but this is in here. People can't be like, talking shit. Right, this is Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel. Not everybody, right? The secret things secret things belong to the Most High, but things that are known belong to us. Right? For Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. So it's like a conversation they're having with the Most High. He's saying, Most High himself is saying he has a controversy with the people of the land because there's no truth. Right? There's no truth. People actually going around thinking that the so-called Jewish people in the land of Israel today are the Most High God's chosen people. Right? They don't know that the people brought over here to serve slavery in America and Canada and were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, Latino, Native Indian man, are the children of Israel. right? Because there's no truth in this land, right? And at the same time, there's no mercy in this land. They don't show us no mercy. They haven't let up on us, even until after we came out of physical captivity, for the physical bondage. They're still being raised towards, still persecuting us, still gunning us down the street, still making it hard for us to get a job, right? Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. See, if there was knowledge of the Most High in the land, everyone would know who the Most High God's chosen people are. But Esau has deceived the whole earth, right? So, holy, them birds came really close up. I'm like, yo. But let me get this wisdom of Solomon. It's so tiny, holy. Let me get wisdom of Solomon. Right, so now the truth is coming out in these last days, and people are mocking and laughing as if we're not the Most High God's chosen people, right? When did the Jewish man go into captivity and be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth? Right, but every time you read in the scriptures, the children of Israel sin against the Most High God, they get put into slavery, right? But when it's us, that's literally the Negro, Latino, Native Indian man right now. But no, it just can't be us. It's a hard comparison, right? Meanwhile, the Jewish man, he wasn't even brought into the land of Israel, serving slavery under the Germans. Right? These guys were chilling. They were free. They had liberty everywhere that they were in the earth. Doesn't fit no prophecy, right? But they're the children. They're Jewish, and they don't even call themselves Jews. They call themselves Jewish, and they call themselves Israelis, not even Israelites. Meanwhile, they're Caucasians, right? But they're saying that most of them claim Southern Kingdom, being the Jews, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and they're saying that other 10 tribes are still lost. But if you guys are Caucasian, how come the rest of the Edomites, how come the rest of the Caucasians that be in Denmark or France or Italy aren't the rest of the Israelites, the rest of your tribesmen? You see how stupid it is? But we're the fools though, right? How the hell if you Caucasian, how the hell the rest of your people not the rest of the tribes? Idiots, man. See, that's the foolishness of this world, man. This world doesn't even make any sense how they even able to get away with that in the first place. But you know it was that Psalm 83, that crafty counsel, and us forgetting who we were. So that's why I don't give a shit about. We don't have to care about their opinions, because we know the truth. The Most High's gonna bring the judgment on them anyways. All right. Where's the wisdom of Solomon? This is gonna be the last scripture. I just had to get that out because I don't know how you guys claiming to be Jews, but the rest of your people can't. The rest of the Caucasians aren't Jews with you, right? That you guys have the children of Israel in captivity during Greece and Rome, and all of a sudden, close to the 21st century, everybody just switches up and has empathy on the children of Israel all of a sudden. Like, where does this switch, or where did this come from? You guys had them in captivity for the longest time. All of a sudden, you're just being nice to them now. You donate and bear your tax money to the people in the Israel now. What? You didn't even put them in slavery or anything. But you put the Negro, Latino, Native Indian man in slavery, like. But we're not the children of Israel, though. Are you stupid? But these people actually just want to, and when they come up, they can never disprove us, so they just keep talking their smack out of their ass, being the devil, the serpent that Esau is, all the time, every single time, and expect people and people just believe it, right? But this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. So I'm trying to make it focus. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So the righteous man being the 1/3 and the elect that are woken up and are waking up till this day, till this very day, till this very second. Right? They're standing in boldness, preaching the word of the Most High, preaching repentance and the gospel to the children of Israel. Right before the Edomites, the so-called white man, who's afflicted us, right? Put us in slavery, raped, robbed, and murdered us, stole our identity, right? and made no account of his labors. They don't even say thank you. They don't care about the hard work that we done. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and that's why they always calling the cops on you. That's why they always calling the cops. Y'all haven't seen Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians prophesy on the street corners before? Right? You haven't seen us doing this before? The only reason we haven't been doing it before is because we forgot who we were. Right? We always been doing this. Always been proclaiming judgment and prophesying on the street corners. Only been about 2,000 years since we last did it in Rome. And we're probably doing it even after too, while we're on the west coast, right? And during the Dark Ages, building those churches, right? But everyone forgot, and we haven't been doing it for a while. So all of a sudden, people are acting like this is something new, when it's not even new, right? They shall be troubled with fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, right? And then now the salvation is going to come, right? So far beyond all that they looked for, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach, calling us all types of proverbs and bywords, derogatory terms, say, right? Making fun of us, spitting on our signs, trying to attack us, and all that shit. Verse 4, we fools accounted. This is what they're going to be saying within themselves when they seen these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians being beamed up on those chariots and the missiles coming and about to destroy them. The whole host of heaven and Yahweh Shai coming back in front of all of that. Right? We fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor, thinking that we're doing all because the world seems to be going on perfectly for now in American Canada, which is just American Canada. Everywhere else is catching hell. Right? Just here in American Canada, they're thinking, just because it's good here, they're thinking that it was going to be going on forever. Right? We fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Right? So that's what they'll be saying at the end. Right? That's what they're gonna ultimately be saying at the end of all this. Right? And then I kind of want to get one more scripture. Right? And this is what we're saying during the midst of that. Right? Speaking the truth. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 13. This is 12. This is what the heathens say. Let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is... Holy shit. Something flew onto me out here. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy, the transgressing of our education. Teaching boys they can be any gender. Teaching that there's over 50 genders. You could transform. You could magically be a cat one day, and you could female can magically be a male the next hour. Is transgressing of education. That doesn't make any sense, and it's not lawful to do. Right, verse 13. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and we do have the knowledge of the Most High, Yahweh, because the Negro, Latino, Native Indian, what you named us today, we're the Most High God's chosen people. We're the children of Israel. We're Yasharallah. Alright? And he calleth himself the child of the Lord. And that's what we are. That's what they're saying. They're like, these guys are actually calling themselves the children of the Most High God. And they're saying we're not. And the heathen and they're saying we're not the children of the Most High God. Right? And they're always saying God is love. No, he's not. You know, how many times we got to show you in the scriptures? He was made to reprove our thoughts, because every time they try and come up against us with something, we could easily just go to the scriptures and show you your thought process is off. And look at the world around you. It's off. It doesn't make any sense. It's wrong. It's just you people are corrupt. You're destroying the whole earth. Right? For his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. You see them look at you, they see prophesying, they just look away, just keep it pushing. Like, damn, yo. Holy, I just wish these guys would stop. Like, what do they keep coming out for? They don't even want to interact with you. And then your friends in the world, right? They see how you don't want to celebrate birthdays, you don't want to hang out with them no more. You say, oh no, I don't eat that, I don't eat this. Oh no, I keep this law. You know? That's how it is. For his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. And it's nothing new. It's just we weren't keeping the laws. We were being Gentiles. We were being heathen. What we were always doing this back in the day. We just keep going off and off, right? We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstained from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. We make the boast that Yahweh is our Father, because we know who we are, right? So with that, I want to say, Kal Allah Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, and Shalom.